I've been teaching a technique for the last 2 decades that really helped me cross that gasm chasm, close that orgasm gap that Dr. Lori Mintz talks about, which is how easy it is for a male-bodied partner to achieve a climax from intercourse, and how much more difficult, and sometimes it feels almost impossible to women, and they give up when they don't realize it's just a learned skill. And I had that problem where I had had sex with my husband for 11 years, and I just didn't want to do it anymore because I wasn't having orgasms, and it was ruining our marriage. He had emotionally checked out because I had physically checked out, and we didn't want to lose our marriage. And so we went to sex workshops, we went to therapists, we did a lot of personal growth work. And what we realized is that sex is just a series of learned skills and techniques that can almost instantly make your sex life better, hotter, more enjoyable, etc. It's just that until we had people like me and all of the other sexologists and sexperts out in the world, which is really just kind of a new thing, in the last maybe, I'm going to say even like 5 years, there's just been this massive blossoming of pleasure coaches and things like that. One of the things that we learned was this practice called expanded orgasm. It is a clitoral stroking technique that allows a woman to receive the kind of stimulation on her clitoris and vulva and in her vagina that get her to the ability to come reliably, consistently, and for really long times, and have lots and lots of really great orgasms. It takes you from struggling to get to one to having many, to taking those orgasms and stretching them out like time is taffy. So you're actually in peak orgasmic states longer and longer. You learn how to hold the sensation and ride the sensation because your partner learns how to deliver the sensation to your body the way it needs it, not the way he needs it. The expanded orgasm practice is really, really good for teaching us how to completely receive and to understand that our pleasure creates pleasure for our partner, and that it's not our job to serve or to service our partner, that it becomes more of a flow when we become very orgasmic. There's a couple little pieces I want to say, and certainly breath and breathing into your yoni, that really, and yoni is Y-O-N-I, and it's a tantric lovemaking word for the female genital system. The male genital system is called the lingam. There's a couple of things. One is that we're estrogen dominant and our male body partners are testosterone dominant. We're the prey and they're the predator. That's literally how our species is. And we have estrogen minds, and our estrogen minds are massively multitasking. And when we're in our beta brainwave state, which is our awake and aware, our CE, we've got our CEO hats on, we are really managing a lot of things. So for us to get to our theta brainwave state, which is the state of meditation and orgasm and relaxation, we really need to be able to shut that down. And one of the best ways, and our male body partners, because they are testosterone dominant, they're not worried about things. They don't walk in the world feeling unsafe like we do. And
That's
they
huge.
are.
Let's just pause there for a second.
It is huge.
That is huge, because so much of our REM, like, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like our mental energy,
your mind cycles.
Yeah. Is even
protection.
If we don't feel physically unsafe, there is like this concept of needing to protect ourselves from.
That's right.
Verbal conversations, rejections, failures, all of these internal things and external conversations that we're having with people. And I don't think the men are quite aware of the level of like having to protect themselves that they're doing all day long, and what a relief it can feel like to open, to be
surrender
vulnerable,
to your pleasure.
And surrender and not feel like you have to protect yourself.
Protect and direct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And so
continue.
Because men don't walk in the world feeling unsafe like we do, and they don't have to expend any bandwidth around all of those things you just said, they're also very goal-oriented and single-minded. That's why you can't tell your husband something while he's already doing something else. He's like, oh, tell me that later, because he's got to only do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so, that's beneficial. There's a lot of benefits to being testosterone dominant. And there's a lot of sexual competitive benefits that the male body has compared to the female body that really makes sex so much easier for them. But he's single-minded and he's goal-oriented. So he's thinking about how he can get inside us. And he has to slow down and turn around and come back and get us and help us get out of our monkey mind and into our body and calm us down and make us feel protected and comfortable and desired and adored and all of these things so that we can let go and enjoy ourselves. And then we have to learn how to fully receive. And so the expanded orgasm practice is really this yoni pleasuring, yoni stroking without any requirement for reciprocation. When you get out of quid pro quo, okay, you're going to do something for me, then I've got to do something for you. When you remove that and you get unlimited pleasure from your partner as much as you want, and if you feel like more, you can have it. And if it's enough, you don't feel guilty that he did not get his. When you can get out of that paradigm, you have way more frequent and pleasurable everything together because you're both in service to the goddess and where she is in the moment. When you begin to trust your body and you become basically the mouthpiece for how your body's feeling, so you both know kind of where she is and you can work together on getting her relaxed. Arousal begins in relaxation. And too many of our partners are like, what buttons do I push? How do I turn her on? How do I get her going? When they don't realize that first they have to get us calmed and safe so that we have the platform of relaxation to allow ourselves to climb our 20 to 30 minute arousal ladder. That his is only a minute or two. Ours is 10x that. So when everybody just slows the heck down and is in service to what her body needs in the moment, when she starts to believe in, and it's not her intuition. I'm not talking about intuition, though there might be some of that in play. Don't negate that. What I'm talking about is your felt sense of relaxation and pleasure. What does your body need? Oh, is my big toe jammed from wearing those high heels? And the only thing I can do is that has to be let go first before I can relax. You have to do what you need to do. You have to get what you need to get to be able to calm down, relax, and then build from there. And you need a lot of pleasuring. And then when you do that and you receive all this pleasure, you begin to understand that your body in the feminine is on a 28-day cycle. We run with the moon. Even after we stop bleeding, we still ebb and flow. And so what we want every day is totally different. What we want at the beginning of a lovemaking session could be totally different than what we want at the end of a lovemaking session.
Oh, so pause there for a second. Okay. Because I think this is such an important point. If you're a man and you're listening, please pay attention here. Like, I think men, they're like data sorting. They're like, oh, she liked that. I'm going to hold on to that and do that again.
Over and over. Exactly. And then the next day they're like, that's not working for me.
I'm different. Yeah. I flow. I'm a woman. And so it happens in all areas, not just sexuality. So 28-day cycle, you want something new every time.
Learn how to listen to your body and what she needs in every moment. And it's this clever little trick that kind of bypasses a man's ego, where if you give him feedback, he feels like a failure. It's called the sexual soulmate pact. And he did something wrong. Instead, it makes him love your feedback and be hungry for your feedback, and helps him understand that when he gets it, he adjusts, he's a winner. Because what men want is they want to be respected, and they want to win, and they want to get invited back into the Yoni Palace. What women need is to be sexually desired and adored in equal measure. Because if it's just about how sexy we are, we feel objectified. We need a lot of verbal reassurance and adoration during lovemaking. And when women start to begin to get it, they're like, oh my God, I needed this so much. I didn't realize it. A lot of what I like to do is tell women, try these things. And you feel like you're not allowed to have what you really want. And once you start getting it, you're like, oh God, it's true. This is what I really needed. One of the things that's really common for me in a lovemaking date with my partner is that I need him to verbally tell me things that he appreciated, adored, respected, loved about me as a part of our what and here's another word I don't like, Amira. I don't like the word foreplay, but I use it for lack of a better word because it goes back to that same patriarchal paradigm, which is sex is intercourse. That's the goal. Foreplay is just what I use to get there. When for women, foreplay is sex for us. We need all of that stuff in equal measure. We need to be held. We need to be adored. We need our foot rubbed or our neck rubbed. I mean, my lovemaking dates often start with him rubbing some topical THC pain cream into whatever hurts. Because I work out every day. I run the beach stairs. I lift heavy weights. I do all these things to keep because I, at 62, don't even feel like I'm barely entering midlife. So that's because I want to keep myself strong. So when I start out, I just listen to my body. What does she need to relax and let go and drop in? And sometimes that's getting things off my chest, getting the pain out of my foot or my neck or my hand or my arm or whatever. Sometimes it's being held. Sometimes it's a yoni massage or an expanded orgasm date. Sometimes it's kissing. Sometimes it's I'm stroking his penis while he's pleasuring my nipples and we're kissing. I mean, it could start anywhere. And he has no expectation of what it's going to be. And that's actually pleasurable for him because he's like, oh, I'm just going to ride her ride. She's going to tell me what she wants. I'm going to give it to her. If I want anything, I'm going to ask her for it. She's going to give it to me. And who the heck knows what is going to happen?
Yeah.
We'll go from this to that, to this, to that, to a position, to oral, to this, to that. And it's always a fun ride.
Yeah. What I know about men is that they love variety. So
yeah,
that's
we all
amazing.